Good morning, everyone. I am Sarah Simon. I'm coming to you from Appleton, Wisconsin, and it's kind of a winter wonderland here today. Thank you so much for joining me. Good morning, Kelly. It looks like Sandy and Dee and Joyce and Sue have popped on as well. More of you are popping on. The number keeps going up. Hopefully my lips are on this week. A couple of you mentioned last week that my lips were off, and I have no idea why that happens. Sue is coming to us from Ohio. Hopefully you, I wonder if you have snow like we have. We did not have school called off or even a delay, which I was kind of hoping for. But anyway, uh, only 4 more days left, and then I have 11 days off in a row, and I cannot wait. Good morning, Sandy. So, today I have our last of our 12 weeks of Christmas. It's week 12. I will not be live next week. It will be Christmas Eve. I will be live on New Year's Eve day. So I will come live on that day. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Karen. Yes, it is a really, really pretty snow. It looks pretty in December, um, but when it's in April and it does this, then it's not so pretty anymore. So anyhow, it is pretty, and I love having snow for Christmas. And it's supposed to get really, really cold here. They said we're getting Siberia coldness coming in. So I have a feeling that we will have snow for Christmas, which is always a nice thing. As I was saying, I have our 12th week of the 12 weeks of Christmas. We're going to do a winter thank you card. And then I have a sneak peek of Celebration. And I also have a sneak peek of the mini catalog, a different bundle than what I did last week. Last week I did that, I think it's called Country, is it Country Floral or something like that? It has a Valentine stuff in it. It has gingham and hearts, and it's so cute. It's very country looking. But before we get to that, I do have some happy mail that I received. I'm starting to get Christmas cards. My Christmas cards, let me tell you about my Christmas cards. I wrote them out this week. So my goal was to try to get all of this done earlier. Well, Lila didn't really cooperate. So on Wednesday, we had rain, and Lila does not like to poop in the rain. I know, way too much information about my dog. But when I went out, when I was wanting to go to bed at night on Wednesday night, which was about 10 or 10:30, she would not poop. And I knew she had to because she didn't eat her breakfast. She didn't eat her food until like about 4 o'clock. So I knew she had to. So at about 2:30, I think in the morning, Lila woke up and then she really had to go outside. I had to get up and let her out. Lila doesn't like the rain, but Lila loves the snow. And this was the first like significant snowfall. So then I couldn't get her to come in because she wanted to play in the snow. So anyway, a half an hour later, I got her to come in. So I did not get a lot of good sleep on Wednesday night. So Thursday, when I wanted to be creative, I was way too tired. So I sat and looked at my Christmas tree, finished writing out my Christmas cards. They're going in the mail today. Also, catalogs are going in the mail today. I didn't have the envelopes that I needed for them to send them out last week, so I ordered those online. They came Wednesday. I kind of worked on all of that. Labels are being printed right after this, and then they will be going to the post office. So your catalogs are coming. So back to Happy Mail. I received this beautiful Christmas card from my friend Kathy Miller. Isn't that gorgeous? I loved that set. Look at this beauty. This is from Karen Roofing. And there is a lot of, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a Wink of Stella going on in that, in this die cut. It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you. I received this thank you note from Sandy Calloway, who received this stamp set as a prize. And look at this. I received this with the coolest gift. So I received this from a couple of my customers, Diane, Sandy, and Karen. Look at that beautiful card. And in it, they said that they wish that they could give me the gift of time, and that they wanted me to always try to find time for me, that I deserved it. Mom, did you hear that? Other people are telling me the same thing you always tell me. But they gave me this beautiful, I should have brought it in here. It's an hourglass. And it was so cool with what they wrote on the inside. And it's a decorative piece that is just gorgeous. And then they gave me a bottle of wine and some lotion and some things to kind of pamper myself. So thank you, ladies, and thank you for the beautiful card to go with it. My mailman was here already this morning, or mail lady, she is. And in there, I had this beautiful card from Kay Van Eperen. So thank you, Kay, for that. And look at, she decorated the back of the envelope, and instead of doing the entire thing, she just did a strip. Isn't that nice to just save a little bit on the paper? And then I shared my sister's card, so I have to share my brother's cards too. So this is what I got from my brother Chris and his wife Sarah from their 4 kids. And then on the back, they have some kind of the fun things that they did this year. And then I was dying laughing when I got this one. My brother Doug and his wife Renee and their 3 kids and their one in-law decided that they wanted to do something funny this year. So they made a funny card. Look at that. Is that not hilarious? And then on the back, there's my niece's husband. Kind of inappropriate, but oh my gosh. And they said they were wishing us big laughs and lots of love in the new year. I thought that that was so clever. You don't see many people do like a hilarious card. Most people do like really serious Christmas cards. And so I was just dying laughing when I saw that. I thought that was so fun. All right, we got a lot more people that have jumped on here. So good morning, everyone. I do have some prizes to give away. So for commenting last week, anytime you make a comment, like even just saying hello, um, you you end up getting your name into a drawing. And I just do a random pick of that with a random jump generator. And so receiving the cards, so we made this sneak peek last week, which has some of our product in it, new product that's coming up. I can't show you the inside of the catalog, but I can show you things made with what's in there. And then also for our 12 weeks of Christmas, we made this New Year's card. So I will get these in the mail when I bring all my catalogs. And oh, I can't, you know what? I can't get it in the mail unless you send me your address. So this is going to Kathy. I don't know if it's pronounced Brost, Brost or Brost. If you would send me in a private message your address, I will get these in the mail to you because you won those. And then for sharing, if you hit share and you share on any part of your, whether it be a message to somebody or on your Facebook page, whatever you decide to do, wherever you decide to share it, make sure in the comments that you write that you share it, because oftentimes it says that 20 people shared and I can only see about 4 of you because of how your settings are set up for privacy. And so make sure in the comments you write that you shared. So receiving a pack of this is a dual pack of Old Olive and Sahara Sand ribbon. I love this ribbon. It's so easy to use. So receiving this for sharing, and I also need your address, but I think I saw you drop on because you said you were from Ohio and you had no snow. Sue Thomas, you won this, and I don't think I have your address. I quickly looked in my pirate ship and I didn't see it there. So just send me a private message that with your address, and I will get that in the mail to you today when I run to the post office if I get your address. So good morning, Kathy from a snowy New York. Do you have the really heavy snow? We had a lot of really heavy snow go through on Wednesday into Thursday. And now we've off and on had some just little light snow. And I have to say, yesterday morning, I thought it was slipperier than it was on Thursday morning, because Thursday morning was like really slushy. And then that froze overnight, and then a little dusting came over. Um, yeah, Karen, Pirate Ship is the name of the program that I use to do all of my mailing so that I don't have to stand at the post office and have them print labels for me. I put all of you guys in a software with your addresses, and I can just print out the labels when you win something. So that's what Pirate Ship is. So anyhow, so I thought that yesterday, I almost slipped in the parking lot and wiped out because I didn't realize there was ice underneath, and then that little bit of snow, I like had to catch myself. So, oh, thank you, Aunt Mary. You got my Christmas card ready. I got some of them in the mail, and then I ran out of stamps. So when I go to the post office today, I'm getting more stamps and finishing putting stamps on them and getting the rest of them in the mail today. So if you didn't get a card from me and you thought you would, just know that it is coming. Oh my goodness. My mom and dad give me like the coolest gift ever. They pay to have somebody come and snow blow for me so that I don't have to do that. So the other morning, I didn't have to get up early and go out and snow blow all of that really, really heavy snow. I knew that somebody was going to come and do it. And I think he just pulled up right now. Oh, he did with a leaf blower. I think he's going to blow all of the stuff that's out there because it's really lightweight right now. So cool. It's just an awesome gift that I get. I have very, very generous and loving parents, and I'm just so appreciative of that. All right, we did prizes, we did Happy Mail. I think it's time to flip my camera. And actually, I'm going to give you the dimensions first while I pull things up here for our thank you card. So our thank you card is going to be a winter theme. I just love doing winter themed cards. Even birthday cards can be winter themes, I think, this time of year. So these are the dimensions. If you like this layout. I will also post this after. Okay, so I'm back. Hopefully you can all see me and everyone can hear me and everything yet. All right, we are going to be using the Season of Chic. And I'm going to turn my overhead light off real quick. I apologize if you can hear that. I can hear the blower in the background. If you can hear that, I apologize. So we're using Season of Chic. This is a cool stamp set because this is in our annual catalog, not just in our holiday catalog. So you can get it, of course, anytime. I'm just going to close this here so I can see my comments on YouTube. Good morning from Connecticut, Barbara. And good morning, Karen and Mary, who are on YouTube. Anyhow, this is just what it says, seasons. It has all different seasons represented. So we've got seashells, we've got flowers, we've got leaves, we've got a snowflake and some die snowflakes. So we're going to be using this along with this thanks that's in there for our card today. I'm also going to be bringing in this wintry 3D embossing folder, which is so fun. And we're going to be using the deckled rectangles. And then these are those dies that go with that stamp set. So we've got this snowflake. We have these two little ones here. There's one in here. There's one that cuts out the stamped image of the snowflake. There's seashells. Oh, there's so many cool dies in there. So that is the stamp set and dies that, that we're going to be using. Our card base is going to be, now when I looked at the paper that goes with this, the chic, textured chic paper, basic gray is not listed. But when I looked at this designer paper, there's definitely some gray going on in there, I think. So I picked gray out, even though it wasn't listed as one of the colors on there, because I thought it looked really nice with that. So this measures 4¼ by 11, and I scored it at 5½. So we're going to do a hot dog fold type card. Yeah, that is an awesome stamp set. I have a piece of basic white that's going to go on the inside. I have some basic white that is going to go on either side, or it's going to go underneath this piece that I have here. So this is 2¾ by 5½, and then this is 2½ by 5½. I think that's what I had on there. You can go back and look at the dimensions, and I will have them as well. I took the color that's in there, that green is soft succulent. So I went ahead and I cut one of those deckled rectangles in that soft succulent because I thought that that looked really nice with that. And then I just took a scrap of basic white and I die cut some of those snowflakes so that I have those to put on my card as well. All right, so we are going to go ahead and we are going to get to stamping. You know what? I don't think I put a chamois here, and I'm going to need a chamois. I'm going to either need a chamois or I'm going to need to clean off. I think what I'll do is I'll start with my lighter color. We're going to use this snowflake, and I'm using, to get my soft succulent is used in 2 cards. And I just realized I have it in another bin. I should have put it in the one I was using it in first. So here's my soft succulent. And I am going to stamp just a couple of snowflakes on here in that soft succulent. That's all I'm using the soft succulent for. All right. I am also going to stamp a greeting on the inside. So I'm going to put that big thanks on the outside. And on the inside, I loved this. You are amazing beyond measure. I just think that that's so cool. So I'm going to go ahead. You are amazing beyond measure. Then, just going to get some of that green off. I'm going to bring my card base in here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp some of these snowflakes on that card base. So I'm just randomly stamping some of them in, this is in basic gray, so it's tone on tone. And some of this is going to be covered up, but edges of it are going to be showing through. So I just kind of covered that base. I'm also going to be using the basic gray for my greeting. So I'm going to be using that big thanks, and I'm going to be putting it on this deckled rectangle, but I want to keep it a little bit down because I'm going to tie a little bit of ribbon along the top there. Okay, so our stamping is complete. I'm going to keep my soft succulent out because I'm going to be using that again. And I'm going to put all of these stamps back in here so I don't lose them. And I'm going to bring my little baby boss in here. And we are going to take that greeting. I got to grab my plates here. Now, I like to add a little bit of texture sometimes to a label that has a greeting. So you have to do the stamping first, because if you do the stamping second, it's all crooked. Okay, so I wanted to, that's why I couldn't do this ahead of time. I'm going to bring that embossing folder that I told you about, this Wintry 3D, and we're just going to line this up in here. I'm going to try to put the thanks where there aren't like really big snowflakes so that you can still see what it says. Okay, so the snowflakes are kind of around it. I'm going to throw this in here, and we're just going to wind that through. It just adds a little bit of texture to go along with the snowflakes. Get the snowflakes that are in the paper. All right, so you can do that really to anything, anytime. You don't want to have a pattern or an embossing thing that's overpowers the greeting, but definitely adds a little bit of texture to the card. All right, so we're ready to put this together. This is our inside. And so I'm just going to take some of my liquid glue, which is my adhesive of choice. I got a little. And attach that to the inside. All right, and then on the outside, oh, thank you. Someone said they liked the colors that I chose. I kind of liked this gray and this green together. I'm a big gray and yellow person. That's what color my living room is. That's what color my kitchen is. I really like those colors together, but I really like this green with it, this soft succulent as well. Okay, so I'm just going to layer this on there just to have the white from those snowflakes pop a little bit. And then that's just going to come on the front. And it looks like I'm going to have to trim it a little bit. I like to go just maybe a tad bit longer because I can always trim something off, but I can't add anything if I end up making it too short. So this does need just a tad bit, and all I do is I flip it over and I can see right where I have to trim it because it's a little bit long, and I just trim right along the edge of the card. And that can go in my little scrap bin there. All right, so here is our thanks, but before we put that thanks on, I'm going to take some of this, I forgot what it's called here, metallic mesh ribbon. Oh, isn't that fun? We're just going to cut a little bit of that off, and I'm just going to tie a knot in it, and I'm just going to place some of that. It's very like light looking. I'm just going to place some of that at the top of my label, and I can make this. I cut more than I needed here. And I'm just going to attach that on the ends with some Scotch tape. So I'm just going to wrap this. And add a little tape. And we'll wrap that around the back and add a little tape to hold that in place so it doesn't come off. All right, that just added a little bit of, I don't know, not just texture, but it just adds a little something, the little sparkle that's in that ribbon, I thought. Okay, then I'm going to take and I'm going to attach this with some dimensionals. Kind of keeping them towards the middle because I don't want them to be, they get to the end here, they're going to be on two different levels. So kind of kept that there. Liking that thanks on there. And then we have some of our snowflakes. So I should have used an adhesive sheet on this one, especially. This big one does not have a lot of real big places to put glue. So I'm just kind of putting just a dot or two here and there. I think I'm going to put that one down here. And then I have another one of these. This one has nice big spots. You could actually even use a glue dot if you wanted to on this one because it has a nice spot to be able to put that. Kind of depends where your snowflakes are on your DSP. So I had a white one here, so I just decided to put a little bit of white over there. And then I think I'm going to put one, I think I'm just going to use one of these instead of both of them. I did something a little bit different on the one that I made last night. Yes, I made all these cards last night because of my debacle with Lila on Wednesday night. Okay, this needs just a little bit of bling. These are the adhesive back sequins and gems, and look at that color that's in there. I thought that that went really nicely with the soft succulent. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. I'm going to get my take your pick tool, and I'm just going to add some of these gems to the center of those snowflakes, just to add a little bit more bling to this card. And there we go. We have a winter thank you using nothing from the holiday catalog. Everything, well, actually the gems are from the holiday catalog. Everything else is from our annual catalog. Oh, thanks, Mary. Yeah, I was looking like I need to add a little bit of ribbon somewhere. I need to add a little bit of sparkle. And so that's what I decided to do was just add some of the sparkle, not only with the rhinestone or the sequins, but also with that little mesh ribbon there. You could have also, I probably could have wrapped it and tied it and had some little ends, but I thought just having the knot and not taking away from the word thanks, since we already have that embossing on there, that just the knot worked. All right, so that is our card number 1, our last in our series of the 12 weeks of Christmas. Oh, and I do have an envelope here, and that's what this little paper is for. See, I pull it out because then hopefully I won't forget to put it on. So we're going to go ahead and attach just a little bit of that designer paper to the envelope. So when they open up their mailbox and they see it, they know, oh my goodness, look at this. We've got ourselves some sort of a winter card coming our way, and it's going to be something that's homemade. This card went together really, really fast. So if you had to make a whole bunch of them, it really wouldn't take that long. And it really doesn't take a whole lot of designer paper either. So really quick and easy thank you card in a winter theme for thanking all those people that remembered you at Christmas. All right, I'm going to go ahead. Put a couple of things away. I can't lose this sticker because that's my winners, and I don't want to forget that. I'm going to go ahead and go back to here, and I'll give you the dimensions for our next card. So our next card, I used this layout before, and my friend Jay, and I don't know if Jay's on here today or not, but my friend Jay sent me a message, I think at the end of last week, and said, you did a card this fall, and you said that it was something that was inspired by Kathy Miller, which it was, and it kind of had a frame that you made. And I had to kind of look up, and it was a pumpkin card that I made that had some designer series paper that went around the sides that ended up making the, whoops, I lost my, sorry ladies, I lost my camera here for, I'm going to have to go here and go there. Okay, we should be back on. Okay, sorry about that. I had to look through my stuff and I'm like, oh, that's what she was talking about. And so I decided as I was playing with this paper. Okay, so that was my watch. This is the Fancy Flora paper. And I think I showed you this because I was able to get this after I went to the event that was in Indianapolis. And it is just gorgeous. It is like little brush strokes of paint that kind of just have like some floral images, but then the back is more like, I don't even know. It kind of reminds me of like years ago when you were doing like painting and you would kind of just do different shades of it. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, but I thought it was really, really cool. Last week when I made that fold, I showed you some of the paper that I used using that. And today I wanted to make a card that uses the 2 stamp sets that come with this suite. So this is what we call in the Stampin' Up! World as a super suite. And we call it a super suite because it comes with 2 stamp sets. So one of the stamp sets is called Something Fancy, and it's all different greetings. And so these are all some really cool greetings. I love how they have like a normal text and then they have one that is kind of fancy. I always love stamp sets that look like that. And that also has, oops, I have the dies inside of there. That has some little label type dies. And then these little things, which I used as sort of a cutout, and then I inlaid some different colors inside of there. So you can cut those out at the tops of these labels. So you could have this little, that kind of goes like that. So you could have little leaves in there. It's kind of a cool die set. Then we have two-tone flora that goes with this as well. that has some dies, and I'm going to keep this close because we're going to be using some of these dies. And it also has this beautiful background die, which we're not using today, but I plan to use this. I have to use this suite and I have to make 4 cards for a swap, and then I have to make 9 of each of those 4 cards. I counted up the number of swap cards that I have to make, and it's 107. Oh, guess what I'm going to be doing between Christmas and New Year's? I am like so excited because part of me wishes that I could just do this all day, that I could just stamp and design and make like a real big business of this. But yet, part of me loves what I do for my job as well, and I would really miss that. So I can't like really quit that job. Um, in the teaching world, when you go part time, nobody's ever really part time. They pay you part time, but you're still working a lot of hours. And so going part time isn't something that I really think that I would do either in my other job. So this is going to be my retirement job. When I retire from teaching, stamping is going to be what I do, I think. Okay, so in our card, look at this Orchid Oasis. Oh, I love this color. So we are using some Orchid Oasis, and then I cut some of those strips to make our panel. So the longer ones are 4¼ by 1 inch, and the shorter ones are 3 inches by 1 inch. Okay, so those are just going to make a little frame. I don't know if you remember this technique that I did, but it's just going to make a little frame around our card. All right, so we're going to be taping those on or gluing those on. And then I noticed that those labels that were in there, look at this. It fits almost, it was like it was made for this technique. Okay, so these two layer on each other, and then this one fits almost right in that frame. Oh, perfect. So I was like super, super duper excited that I was going to be able to use that. Then I thought, I need to add something. And so that's where we're going to start with our stamping today, is we're going to start with doing some stamping. And I've got lots of stamps out here. All right. And I have some Orchid Oasis, and we have some Fresh Freesia is this other color that's in here. I was thinking it was pink. So I was looking at this paper and I'm like, what pink is that? What is that polished? It's not polished pink. And then I realized I looked at the back and that's Fresh Freesia. And so it's just a purple, but because this is such a dark purple, on here I thought it almost looked like it was pink. All right, so we are going to take this larger flower, and there's 2 of them, 2-toned. Okay, so we're going to use 2 tones. We're going to use Fresh Freesia as our background tone for this flower. And when you stamp just this flower and you don't put the second tone on, it kind of just looks like a blob. Okay, isn't really looking like a flower yet. So then we take the second one, and I'm going to take Orchid Oasis as my second tone. And I'm going to stamp that. I have to stand up to get this lined up. I'm going to stamp that. I'm going to look to see which way it goes. Yesterday, I didn't have any problem figuring it out. Today, when I'm live, I'm probably going to have an issue, right? I think it goes like that. Nope, I think it goes like that. Okay. Promise you, yesterday I just looked at it and figured it out. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this right here. Oh, that's it. Okay, I just had it upside down. I'd stamped the other one upside down. Okay, and then I'm going to bring that soft succulent back in here. And we are going to stamp that. We are going to use the dies to cut that out in just a little bit. But I want to bring in some basic white. This is going to be my inside. And I'm going to use the, I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration because I just love that. Okay, so we're going to just put happy birthday on the inside, and that big greeting is going to be on the outside. And again, I'm going to take a littler flower. I'm going to stamp that there. I'm going to stamp that over the top. Oh, I got a smudge. Let's flip this over. Must have got some ink on my hand, so I apologize for that. Let me just make sure my hands are clean. So happy birthday. There we go. And our two tones. I want to make sure I'm putting them in the right stamp set. And then we'll put a little bit of leaves here. Okay, so that's going to be the inside of our card. Aren't those colors gorgeous? Oh, I just loved them. Now, before I put this one away, let's bring our label in here and get all of our stamping done. And let's do our greeting on the inside, or the outside, I'm sorry. There we go. So we are ready to do some die cutting. And then after we do our die cutting, we are ready to put this card together, this little sneak peek. All right, let me get the stamps out of here because we're done with those. I got to keep them on the blocks though because I have to make a lot of cards with those. We'll get our stamp pads out of the way. Let's bring our machine back in here again. I didn't want to stamp the flowers and have them all cut for you because I wanted you to see how easy it is. I know it didn't sound like it was very easy when I was doing it. I think it was because I had the first stamps punched upside down. And it took me a while to figure out where I had to flip it. And then these were going to be taking the second largest one and our two petals. All right, and I'm going to put this in here. Now we also have to line this up. So I'm going to line those up. Try not to have my fat fingers move them out of the way. Okay, and then you have to line this one up. And I found that this right here lines up with that. That's the part that I always find like one part of the flower that's easy to match up. And for me, it was this little section that's right over here. Okay, I'm going to put this on. Line this through. And we have our flower and our petals cut. Just like that. Pretty easy. Like I said, usually when I use a die set, Stampin' die set like this, I try to find like it's always this one little area that I look for that it finds it easy to line them up. And so when I was doing this last night, I'm like, oh, that's the part right there for this one. Now you can, I know some people put on their stamps, they will take like a Sharpie marker and they'll put like an up arrow so that they know exactly which way the stamp has to go. You can do that. It's entirely up to you. I found yesterday when I was working on this that I didn't seem to have much of a problem, but then this morning, of course, when I'm live, I couldn't seem to line them up, but yeah, the little Sharpie might help if you need to put your direction. Good morning, Betty, and Merry Christmas to you too. Diane, have kids over for Christmas today. Yeah, we have our Christmas tomorrow, Diane. I hope that you have a great time with all your kiddos at your house. That's a big group, a lot of little ones. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just kind of dry fit this. So when I was doing it last night, in some areas there seems to be more like concentrated colors and then more muted colors. So what I tried to do is like here there are more like a lot of colors on this end. So I think I'm going to take something that doesn't have as many colors and line that up to it. Okay, and then this has a little bit more color. So I'm going to just kind of go like that. Doesn't really matter which way you do it. And then that's going to go down there like that. So this is how I'm going to line up my paper. Isn't that cool? It just kind of gives you that little painted look in there. And you could, if you wanted to, use both sides of the paper. So look at how this is like I could, if I wanted to, flip that over and just have that be pink rather than having the continued paint, kind of paintbrush splattering look, whatever that, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just so cool. All right, but I'm going to leave it on this side. When I did that other card using this paper that I showed you, I used both sides of the paper. So I don't know where I did what I did with that card. It was sitting here. Um, it's probably here somewhere. I don't know how such a little space that I'm working in can get so cluttered in like an hour of a Facebook Live, but it seems to happen. And I just cleaned my stamp room last week. I told my mom I like spent about an hour and a half cleaning and putting things away. And then I made a few extra Christmas cards and I made another card that I had to get out for somebody's birthday, and I feel like I have a disaster again. And I don't know why. I also had to those little gnomes that I was making with kindergartners, I had to cut a couple of extra things from that. So I pulled some of that paper out and I was cutting some extras for that. So this is going to go right in here. And I'm just going to put all of this down with liquid glue and I'm going to pop that flower. Um, Yeah, so I have more cleaning to do today. I have someone, Jan, who's one of my team members, is picking up some stuff, and so Lila sees her. So she's just welcoming Jan. I just have it hanging on the door for her so that she could come whenever she wanted to. She was going to come last night, and I'm like, well, I live by a non-denominational church, and they have it's called the Streets of Bethlehem, and they have it going on right now. And I think I did two of these on my other card, but I think I'm just going to do one. I think I'm going to try to have the petal go right there. And we'll kind of put that, let's see, maybe I'll have the petal go more like that. And we'll put that flower right there. How does that look? I think that looks pretty good, like that. So anyway, they have this, it's called the Streets of Bethlehem, and you walk through it. I have not been there. I've heard it's awesome. But it's almost like Christmas Day traffic or Christmas Eve. They don't have Christmas Day services, but on Christmas Eve they start with services at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon and they go all the way until like about 10:30 at night, and it's like lots of traffic going through here. I really don't live in. I live in a very like it's not like downtown or anything like that. It's really kind of out in the country, sort of. But there's this church out here, and everything. They have police coming and controlling the traffic and doing all that kind of stuff because it gets kind of busy. It's good that that many people are going to church though, and taking on the real meaning of Christmas. So there is our card. Now we're not finished. We are going to add, these are some of the gems that come with this suite of products. They're called iridescent pastel gems. And we're going to add, these look like they're soft succulent. So these are the ones that I chose to add to my card. And since my flower was up in this corner, I decided I was going to use these opposite corners to put my gems. I usually like to put them in opposite corners of the card. So I'm going to take one of these big ones. They're really kind of big, but I'm going to put one down there with a little one. And then I'm going to take a little one. I think I'm going to put it right up there so you kind of see it. So there is our beautiful birthday card. Aren't these colors just gorgeous? I just fell in love with this paper. And I don't know, I think this might be one of my swap cards. I'm thinking this might be one of them, and I have to make 9 of them. Because I just like how this turned out. I love the color combination. Thank you for all the hearts, those of you that are putting hearts. Oh, Mary, you went. It's a cool experience. I have heard that it's a really cool experience. Now, tonight I'm going, my sister's coming into town with her kids, and we're going to go to my niece's basketball game so that they get a chance. Whoops, you know what? I had a little piece of this paper that's supposed to go in here too. Um, we're going to go to my niece's basketball game because she plays at 5:45. But that's done again by 6:30, so we'll have to see what everybody's up for. With having Christmas tomorrow, and we're all going to get up and go to church together first in the morning, we may just decide to come home after the basketball game and get a good night's sleep so that we can all be at our best tomorrow when we're all together. Okay, so this one's in the mini catalog. Again, the name of the suite, I believe, is called Fancy Flora, and it has the 2 stamp sets and the 2 dies. Oh, and I do have an envelope here. See, if I do that, then I remember to. Let's see, we'll put this side on here so that that matches. And yeah. Thanks, Betty. Yeah, I like how it turned out. I like how this card turned out. So like I said, I think this might be now. I don't know if Jay was asking me because she was going to use this layout for one of her swaps and we're in the same swap, but I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think it's good for people to be able to get, I mean, almost every swap I get a couple of the book folds because everybody likes that fold. And so I don't think it would be a big deal if Jay made something with this fold and I made something or this layout and Jay did because yeah. Thank you, Barbara and Mary, also on YouTube for saying it's a beautiful card. Yeah, I really like how it turned out. Okay, so that is a sneak peek of something in the mini catalog. And then let me go back to my dimensions so that you can get this. The next card is going to be something from Celebration. Now, Celebration is where you can get free product and you can only get it for free. You can't like, oh, I really like that, but I want to buy it. They don't let you buy it. You have to actually earn it by making purchases. And so today I'm going to be featuring in my card 2 of the Celebration products that you can get when you purchase $100 in product. Now, there's also a $50 level, and my card that I'm going to do the next time, so on Christmas Eve, or New Year's Eve, I'm sorry, that one, New Year's Eve morning, I should say, that one will be with $50 product. I don't know why I started with the $100 product. Probably because I had access to it earlier. We got one of the stamp sets when I was in Indianapolis, and I had kind of played with it a little bit, and I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do. So I'm going to go ahead and come back to you. This is paper that you can get for free, and look at how much paper is in here. I've actually used this quite a bit already, and I still have all of this left. Look at all of those fun patterns and colors and everything else. So this is the paper that you can get with you can get it for free with a $100 purchase. Now, I have a couple of packs of this already because I think that I'm going to be using this a lot because I just love the patterns. All right, so I'm going to set that aside. The other Celebration item that you can get for $100 is this Beautifully Happy stamp set, which is another one of those. This is an outline, and then these are parts, and I'm going to show you how that works today, how they fill those parts in. You know what? I just figured something out. This and this. I know what it's for right now. I didn't use it, and now I see what it's for. I'll show you what it's for when we start stamping. All of a sudden, I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's what that's for. All right, so we are going to do, this is going to be a fun fold, but an easy fun fold. Oops, I had a little piece of paper here. We're going to be using Petal Pink as our color. Now, normally, you guys know me, I would try to come up with a couple of different colors of using the same layout. But honestly, last night it got to be about 11 o'clock when I finished. And the old me would have been like, okay, I should make like maybe two more colors so I can show them different color combinations of this. The new me, who's trying to get enough sleep so that I don't get sick and then I can get healthy, decided it was time to go to bed. So you're only going to get the one color. And I feel like I'm a little bit blurry again on Facebook. So I apologize for that. And I just, there we go. Okay, lost my comments. Maybe it was just me because now that I refreshed, I think it looks okay. Yes, I'm using that layout for one of my swaps. Jay, just let me know if you would prefer that I not do it because I'm fine with not doing it too. All right, so this is Petal Pink and this measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. Okay, so this is what we call a Z fold. You can kind of see the Z there. And we are going to use some basic white, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. This is one of the patterns in that stamp set or in that paper set. It has like a striped thing or a chevron thing on the back. That has Petal Pink in it. That is just 1/8 of an inch smaller, so 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. This right here measures 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, so it's the same width as this other one. And then this has Petal Pink in it too. So that measures 1 3/4 by 5 1/8. Okay, look at how that looks next to each other. Isn't that cool looking? All right, I took some basic white and I cut, these are from our contour dies, contour labels, I think they're called dies. And then this is some of this designer paper right here. And I cut that so that it layers right inside of there. And then I took some white 1/4 of an inch smaller. And those dimensions are in there. I don't remember right off the top of my head what those dimensions are, but you can go back and you can take a look at those. All right, and then I have, this is just a little bit bigger than that one. It's kind of the same as, just a little bit bigger than that designer paper. And that's just gonna go on the inside as my greeting. So this is how my card is gonna go together. I have to stamp on this, I have to stamp on this, and then this is just a little 1/2 inch strip that we're gonna stamp on. So I'm gonna do all of that stamping, and then we'll come back and put it all together. So I'm using Petal Pink, I'm using some Memento, and I should have, here it is, and some Pear Pizzazz is going to be the other color. Hi, Marcia. That's okay that you're coming in late. You can always go back. Yeah, it does look kind of peachy. Our Petal Pink does look a little bit more on the peachy side. All right, I'm going to go ahead and grab the outline of my floral image. And that I'm going to ink up with Memento ink. And when I have a big image like this, I like to lay it flat and I like to bring the ink to the stamp rather than trying to fit that whole thing on my little stamp pad. It's a good way for me to be able to see that I have everything inked up. Okay, and then what I want to do is I'm going to I want to get as much of this stamp on here. And so I'm going to stand up so I can see, otherwise my head's going to be in the camera. I'm kind of stamping it a little bit on an angle so that it fits on that sheet. Isn't that a nice image? Oh. And you could use blends and you could color that in with blends, or you can use the stamps that come with it. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the outline of this little flower. Is just going to go in the corner of my inside. All right, while I have the black out, I might as well do my greetings. All right, so my outside is going to say sending happy thoughts, and the inside is going to say for a very happy birthday. So I'm going to put my for a very happy birthday on the inside. And I don't have to have it centered because my flower is a little bit off to the right, so my greetings can go off a little bit to the left. And then my other greeting, I'm just going to stamp on here. Sending happy thoughts. All right, and that looks pretty good. I'm going to close up my Memento ink, and now I'm going to bring in some Petal Pink. With the Petal Pink, I have this stamp that will fill in all of the things that are here. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. And I lined this upper one and right, sometimes you just got to push it down. Look at that. Now, remember when I said I know what those dots are for now? Notice how the inside of that flower didn't get filled in. This little dot, I'll put it on here, I'm guessing will fill that in. And you could do it in a different color then if you wanted to. I'm just going to do it in the same color. Look at that. So if I wanted to do maybe that in like a yellow, or if I wanted to take a different color, I could do the little inside dot in a different color. Okay, while I have my Petal Pink out, I'm going to bring in the fill for the inside layer. Okay, so here is my inside layer. And there too, see how I'm gonna have to bring it up. See how the middle isn't filled in? There's another one that is taller. It stands up. I didn't figure this out last night. I must have been really tired. But if you wanted to have your inside be a different color, you could stamp this in a different color. I'm just going to keep it the same color. All right, I'm done with my Petal Pink. Now I'm going to bring in some Pear Pizzazz. And since I have this one up here, we'll start with that one. This stamp will fill in the little buds and the little edge of the flower. Okay, so that just filled that in some Pear Pizzazz. And then if I bring this other image, I have a leaf one in Pear Pizzazz. Now you could hook this up if you're making a whole bunch of these. Put this in your Stamparatus, and each one of the plates could have, this one it took me a while I have to get, this is going to go down here. So you could do multiple colors if you wanted to. So all of that is colored in now. Super easy, right? I didn't have to do, now if you love to color, you could use your blends and you could color all of that in, but the stamp set is made so that you can just stamp everything in. Yeah, the flowers are absolutely beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, get these out of my way, because like I said, I don't have a lot of room to stamp here and stuff. It's time to put our card together. All right, so we are going to start with the inside, and I'll layer some of this designer paper. And there's blues and there's greens and there's all different colors. Fresh freesia is in there, but because I had done fresh freesia in the card before, I opted for the Petal Pink, but that was My first go-to was like, oh, I should just grab the Fresh Freesia and do that. But you could make this in Fresh Freesia. You could make it in the blues that are in there. I think Balmy Blue is the color that's in there. Um, you could do, you could make this exact same card in just a whole bunch of different colors. You could make it plainer. It doesn't even have to be something that's a fun fold. You could just make the background and put this, like you could just put this on the front of a card like that and make it easier and make a gift set and have the gift set be in a whole bunch of different colors with a bunch of the different greetings. So there's for a very happy birthday, kindness matters, a thank you. You are easy to love for a feeling better kind of day. Different greetings like that. Just making a set would be a good idea with the stamp set. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to actually bring my bone folder in here and I'm going to burnish this so that it lays a little bit flatter. When you're doing cards that are fun folds and they don't want to be laying flat for you, just bring your bone folder in or find something to really burnish those well. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this on here. All right. And then this is going to go onto the front. I have one of my swaps. I think I told you this. That's due on December 23rd. So today I have to get some wrapping done. I have to get to the post office to get my catalogs out. And then I do have to get to work on that because, oh, it's going to be here before we know it. And this week is going to be crazy at school. Kind of was already this last week. All right, and then this is going to go in there. You wouldn't even have to use designer paper there. You could just use some of the petal pink here. I just decided I wanted to kind of bring that pattern in. You could also do some embossing there and add a little bit of texture of some sort into that layer if you wanted to. You could do this in the petal pink and not even put that extra layer in there. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. There's so many different combinations of making this. I'm just going to add regular liquid glue and not put this up on dimensionals. But I want to make sure I only keep it on the left side. Make sure I got it straight. And then my greeting is here. And I just want that to go across here, but I'm going to go ahead and trim it. I just like to give myself a little bit more paper than I need so that if I didn't stamp it straight, I'm going to bring my Pick a Banner punch. I'm going to throw this in here. Try to center it up here a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to throw that right on there. You know what this might need? A blending brush here. I'm just going to make sure that there's no other, some of that ink off of there. Oh, I do have a white one. Nope, I don't. I don't have a lighter pink one. So I'm just going to get some of this ink. I had a little bit more than I wanted. Oh, I lost my camera. Sorry, guys. I'm back. I don't know how long I was gone. I was doing this. I don't really like how that looks. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to leave it the way that I had it before and not do that. So let me bring my stamps back in here again. And make sure I grab the correct one. Okay, we got sending happy thoughts. We're not going to mess with it. We're just going to leave it the way it is. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that there. I might just trim off a little bit. And I think I might raise that up on dimensionals. I didn't on my other one that I did last night, but I feel like it might need it. Just to stand out a little bit more. Throw these in my little cup here. All right, so sending happy thoughts for a very happy birthday. Now we need a little bit of bling, so I'm bringing in one of my faves, the iridescent rhinestones. The iridescent pearls, the iridescent rhinestones are some of my favorite. And I'm going to take one of these medium-sized ones, put that in the center of that flower. And then I think I'm going to just take two of the small ones and put them up in this area that's kind of a little bit white. Okay, so there is my sending happy thoughts for a very happy birthday. Pretty easy to do, just some designer paper, some easy stamping because all of this stuff lines up and fills it out for us. And of course, we'll make ourselves a matching envelope here. And I decided that since I used less of this paper on my card, that pattern, that I would have the envelope be that because I was using a lot more of that other pattern. Look at how fun that is on the back with those polka dots with the fresh freesia and the mango melody. Oh, that was the other color that I thought I could do was mango melody because that's another color that's in here. There's mango melody, there's fresh freesia, there's petal pink, there's balmy blue, soft succulent, actually granny apple green I think is in this one. So there is that card. Ooh. So this is all Celebration product. That is all product that you can get for free. Both of these are with a $100 purchase. So we did this card. We did our thank you card. Threw it in the bucket. I had to get it back out. So this was the first one that we did, our 12 days of Christmas. And we did our, got to get this one out of the bucket as well. A little intro to or little sneak peek into the new mini catalog that goes live in January. All right, so those are our three projects for today. Completely different colors, but just some fun. Oh, thank you, Mary. Betty, I promise the catalog is going in the mail today. You should have it hopefully by Monday or Tuesday. And hopefully, my hope is that you will be able to, oh, that's really bad. The lighting. Hopefully you will be able to find some time between Christmas and New Year's to just grab a cup of coffee, sit by your Christmas tree, open up that catalog, and make your little wish list because holy cow, there is a lot of stuff in there. Now, last year between Christmas and New Year's, I went live every day. I almost killed myself doing it. So I don't want to promise anything. Plus, like I said, I have to get all those swaps done. So I have my friend Kathy and Lisa who are coming over during between Christmas and New Year's, and we're going to be doing some stamping together. And I don't think I'll go on at all during the week, but I will have something on New Year's Eve morning. So it'll probably be about 8:30 in the morning again. So thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope that you all have a very, very Merry Christmas. I hope that you enjoy your time with your family, that you have good health, and I will see you all on the 31st. Christmas blessings to all of you. And I'll thank you very much for joining.